Hello! Thank you so much for the wonderful response you have shown to our first video on COVID Q&A myth busting. That was part 1. Today we're going to do part 2. And like I promised, we're answering all of your questions that you have written in to us about masks. Okay, so question number 1. Why must we wear a mask? This is a very popular question actually asked by a lot of people, especially there's been a lot of news coming in from the US where there is a huge anti-masker movement where people are talking about their right to freedom and how this is a form of control, and a lot of people here also have asked us this question. So, when I was a kid and if my parents told me don't do this or do this, my first reaction would be no, or just like why? And unless I was explained rationally or logically, I wouldn't adhere to what they had to say. So over time, of course, I've become smarter. But similarly, since the pandemic began, all we've been hearing is wear a mask, social distance, and wash your hands. 3 things that have gone round and round and round over and over again. But I don't know how many people have actually understood why we are asking you to do this. So let's try and understand this concept a little bit, okay? Here goes. Now, COVID-19 has been a very new disease. It's a novel disease for everybody all over the world, and we are slowly learning more and more things about it. Having said that, one thing that we are definitely sure about is that the virus spreads through droplet transmission, which means that it doesn't, a lot of people believe that the virus comes out of your mouth and it kind of crawls into someone else and that's how it infects them. That's not true. This is not a sci-fi thriller movie. In real life, this is just droplet transmission. Now, these droplets are coming out of your nose, out of your mouth when you talk or cough or sneeze. They might not be very apparent to you, but there are micro droplets that do come out of all of us. It's for everybody. This might remind you a little bit of, if you've seen the movie Noone, Satish Shah plays this professor who kind of, spits out a lot of these droplets when he talks, and Shah Rukh does this whole CGI thing.
You
He could have saved a whole lot of money on CGI if he had just given him a mask. It's that simple. So anyway, coming back to the droplets. Now, if the virus spreads through these droplets, what is the best way to prevent them from being transmitted from one person to another? Pretty simple. You give it a barrier. Okay, so you kind of stop the droplets from moving forward as soon as you give someone a mask. So basically, you are preventing your infection from spreading to another person. Now, if you've seen our earlier video that we have made on monsoon illnesses, we spoke about something called chain of infection. There is a portal of exit as to how an organism exits your body. At the same time, there's a portal of entry. The virus also enters your body through your respiratory system. Again, what is the best way to prevent the virus from entering if it's going to enter from the same way? Again, mask. So basically, you are covering your nose and your mouth and creating a barrier in front of your face, which prevents the virus from getting out through droplets. At the same time, the droplets from entering your respiratory system. Second thing, now suppose, and I see a lot of these people who sneeze or they talk with their mask, down. They kind of remove their mask and then decide to sneeze. So the droplets are anyway coming out. Now, the average distance that these droplets travel is said to be 6 feet, which is why we ask you to social distance. So that even if someone is not wearing a mask, if you are beyond 6 feet range of that person, if you are social distancing, the chances of transmission are lesser. Okay, so step 1 is wear a mask. There's a barrier, so the droplets don't move out. If you're not wearing a mask and, by some chance, somebody does sneeze on you, if you're 6 feet away, the chances are even lower. Thirdly, if someone is sneezing, somebody who's not worn a mask has sneezed or coughed or, just spitting on the road or whatever, this virus can stay active on different surfaces for different periods of time. So ranging from 4 hours to 48 hours on, say, copper or cardboard, or different. There's a list. So the virus can still be active while you are touching these objects. Most commonly, now that we've unlocked, the trains or buses or the railings of the staircases, in many cases even your cell phones, your car keys, grocery bags, all of these can act as, carriers of the small droplets that have been left behind. Which is why we say wash your hands as soon as you come home. Now, I hope you're understanding that this is a 3-step process and all 3 have to be done together. It doesn't work if you just do any one. So you can't just wear a mask and say, oh, I wore a mask, nothing is going to go wrong. No. So you have to wear a mask, you have to social distance, and you have to wash your hands. It's a 3-step process. It's kind of like making Maggie, 3 steps. Pani ubalo, Maggie noodles ko uske andar dalo, Maggie masala uske andar dalo, stir it nicely, and in 2 minutes you have Maggie. If you miss any one of those steps, bhuke hi reh jaoge aap. So the ideal way to prevent the virus is doing all these 3 steps regularly. It comes from practice. It was new to me too and to all of the healthcare workers, but we are learning slowly and steadily, and we've kind of made it a habit and a way of life with us. So I'm sure you can do it too. I do hope that helps you understand why masks are important and how they, along with the other steps, do help us prevent this viral illness. Now, I know you have a lot of more queries as far as masks go, which is why all this week we're only going to be talking about masks and their potential benefits and all the myths related to them. Stay tuned for more. If you think this helps you, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe to our YouTube channel called thesafetynet.in. Until our next myth-busting episode, do stay safe, do stay healthy, and stay tuned.